Hello guys, how you guys are doing? I hope all is well. So I'm coming to make a public announcement about the situation that has been going on for the last couple of days. Um, Hold on, wait a minute. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. So this is the thing. I want you guys to hear me good and clear. I decided to get up this morning and go ahead and clear the air. I know that that's my family involved what's going on. I know there's money left behind for me. Okay. I know that you are trying to put on some type of facade doing this spell work to try to, make it seem like I'm something that I'm not. When everybody, you can clearly see me. You can see me real well. You ain't blind. Okay. So, doing this spell work, trying to pay these people off with the money that was left behind for me. Okay. Which is this inheritance from your father. Okay. Your dad. I know exactly who you are, Tabitha. I know exactly who you are. Um, I didn't think that I would have to do all this, y'all. I didn't think I had to take it here, and I am. You got people doing spell work on me. You got people coming against me in my home, my environment. I'm putting a shutdown to this. I'm shutting it down. Okay. There will be a report made on your behalf for stealing my money and the family for stealing. And already, to be honest, it's already a report made, loves. You guys been investigated. I've been made the report. Okay? I knew you stole my money. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I know a lot of you like, oh, how did you know? How did you find out? Did you find out from readers or, did this person tell you? Things like that. Yeah, of course she told me. Yeah, of course she told me, loves. Everybody's saying something about the church that's coming after you. They saying all these little things in the readings. Well, quite frankly, they have to follow up in the dream state, in the dream world, what they have done. So they have to make it seem like the church is against you. The churches, are coming at us and they're coming to attack me. They're not. Okay, just stop the bullshit. They're watching, but they're not coming after me. They don't have a reason to. I don't know the people. The people don't even know me. Okay, like let's clear the fucking air. We're not gonna create any delusions, conflict, or whatever you're trying to make seem something good. It's just the fact that whatever dream state you left me in that vision, okay, you had to bring it to your realization. Okay, and you had to let that be known or seen as though it was something that it wasn't, okay? So whoever felt like I was targeting them or coming for them, you allowed them to be addressed and to attack me, right? Okay. Moving forward. So with the situation stating, so I'm gonna give you guys story time, okay? I'll give you guys story time. I might want to sit down because it's gonna be a little long with this little story time. I wish I had a chair I can just kind of sit down in. I do. I'm gonna get in my recliner. I'm gonna need a crystal for this one. Okay, this gonna be a little conversation. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I ain't too far in my no. And if the screen don't look too well, y'all can always, make the screen big when you can see me. Okay, so don't talk about my socks. Okay, I'm at home. Okay, so first things first. I lived in I was about to say Port Arthur. I lived in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, at the time, I was going through CPS, but I had just got myself stabled. Okay, I had just left from a place called Beaumont, no, Hampton Inn Suite. I went through some terrible, terrible things, some terrible, terrible changes when my kids got taken from me. They had already had labeled me, me being in foster care, because I need you for this situation to make sense. Because a lot of people gonna say, well, what happened? How did this information get out? I need to know about the documentations. I need to know how did these people quote you as such and such. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, now mind you, I have to step back, but I have to come into this reality right now because I have to go all the way back into time. Okay, I'm awakened, so I know how my story is played out. I know what happened. Okay, you won't know these things if you haven't reached a spiritual level of spiritual consciousness. You're not aware. Okay, so in my situation, my story, it started off as me having an older daughter. Okay, that's gonna be the topic of the subject. My older daughter. Okay, I have a daughter. Her name is Kimberly Stewart. Okay, and she's grown now. She has her own family. Okay, remember this part. Okay, because it's gonna make sense up to the documentations, the reports that was made, false information. Okay, all right, moving forward. So stepping back and going down to my future, which is my today. This is my future on today from me having an older daughter. Okay. I moved away from my family. Okay. When I moved, you know, it was due to my home, not my home environment, my home. Everything had done broke down. They tagged the home. Okay. The city said I had to get out the house. Okay. I had nobody to turn to. I called my little sister. Okay. Which is Ashika. Okay. I called her. I said, hey, I need some help. Me and my kids can't stay here. The pipes bust underneath the house. We have no water. Okay, that's one thing that person gonna need in the home is water, especially if you have kids. Okay, it got bad to the point where when we would use the restroom, the water would run underneath the house and it would sit and it would start smelling like mold and just build up and those fumes come out. Okay, so if it's smelling like sewage or whatever, feces or whatever, that fumes is coming in the house. Okay. So I was like, and the gas started leaking, all kind of things. Okay, I have photos, I have pictures, I have proof. Okay, and when all these things went on, I represent these things in court. I was told, why am I still there? Okay, that's what I was told. The house was supposed to get fixed. If a certain pair of people didn't come in to fix it, I was told to give them a call. They were sending people, drug addicts to come and fix the property. Okay, whatever. I called and did what I need to do. Okay? It was an inside job. The people was talking to me. I'm doing readings for these people. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what God want to hear. I'm doing tarot readings for the people that's supposed to be coming here to fix my house. They're asking me questions about my family. Are you fucking hearing me? These are white junkies, drug addicts. It was a woman and a man came to my house like they were fixing something. Ain't fixed nothing. I called and I reported it. Moving forward. So I got on the phone. I called the airport. I booked us a flight. I booked us a flight to Cali. I booked the flight. I paid for the tickets. It was like $700 some. Okay. Now listen to me. What I'm saying. It's money involved. I booked the flight. I paid $700 for flights for 5 tickets, $700 some. Okay, listen to me. Think. Okay, yeah, I am. Hold on, guys. Just give me a minute. So I gotta get my wallet. I got some information to give you. So I set the flight or whatever. So went on. I said, fuck that. I'm not going to get a flight because how I'm going to get down there to the airport, how I'm going to get where I need to go when I get my kids down there, it don't make sense. Girl, go get a car. I didn't get the money back from the airport money, okay, from the tickets. I didn't get my money back, okay. I was going to be credited, okay, for the for the next time I needed the tickets, okay. So moved on to say this. I went to go purchase a car. I called the Uber. I paid $200 or $120 or something in that nature for an Uber with all 4 of my kids. Okay, you listening? And to purchase a car. The car that I wanted, it wasn't ready. Okay, it still had some issues. Okay, the car that I can afford had issues. Okay, I was put in a motel room. I said, well, it's no sense to me going back and have to come back here. So the young lady, which is a Hispanic lady, she helped me and my kids. She put us in a motel room. I paid for the room. Okay, you listening? Okay, so I get to the motel, we chill. She called me. I had already made my payment. I had already filled out my documents. All I was waiting for was my car, period. Okay, next day she called me, whatever. I move on, I get my car. I go back home. I went back to Beaumont, and I pack up half of my shit. I left almost everything I owned. All I packed was a few clothes, okay? And I left with $24 in my pocket and maybe what, 600 something dollars worth of food stamps. Okay? I bombed the rest of the way to Cali. Me and my kids were asking people for money to get to Cali. It took me like 4 to 5 days to get to Cali. When I got to Cali, I still didn't have anything. I had to wait till I got paid. I sat at a store. I went to a couple of places. I saw the views of, of whatnot. Make a long story short, I got down there, whatever, it didn't fit for me, okay? I went to Decatur. I lived in Decatur, Texas. I stayed at Beaumont Inn. Things didn't work out for me at Beaumont Inn. I left Beaumont Inn. The people started reporting me when I left from Beaumont Inn, okay? When I got to Hampton Inn Suites, my kids are already took it from me. They were already placed in CPS custody, okay? I've been fighting for my kids ever since that I left from Beaumont Inn. Beaumont Inn. I'm from Beaumont, Texas. Okay, all right, moving forward. So, in that situation, I was told that I needed to go to the hospital to admit myself. They felt like I had a psychological problem. You listening to me? So, in order for me to get my kids back, this was a family plan. This was mandatory that I work those family plans to get my kids back to me. So I had to admit myself in the hospital, not telling me why. Not saying, hey, Miss Stewart, we see that you have a mental problem. We see that you're not, taking this well or this, that, and third. They're not telling me that. They're saying this is what the protocols are. This is what it was meant. This is what was said. This is what we came agreeing with. I said, okay. I get there. I'm admitted. I'm sitting outside. I'm waiting to be admitted. Whatnot or have you. They put me in a room. I sleep in a room. They're doing spell work. They end up taking me to to another room or office where there were other patients, and they put me in a room. Y'all, they put me in a room. They were doing spell work on me, sexual magic. They performed a whole sexual spell work on me. It was so bad they had me in the front. They had people in the back yelling and screaming and shit, just going crazy and fucking insane. I'm thinking the people getting hurt. I'm thinking somebody harming these people. That's how far I was scared in the place, literally terrified. These people perform a ritual on me. How I know? I woke up doing a ritual. The man asked me, he said, why are you moaning so loud? What's wrong? You haven't had none in a while? I swear to God, on my soul. I'm in the hospital. I'm supposed to be getting help. Okay? So, after that moment, I just kind of been looking at everybody crazy. Now, the black lady, she was a witch that was there. She said, we know certain things happen. We don't understand why they happen. They just happen. Okay? I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with me? But that's just letting me know, giving me inside information. You knew that they performed a sexual ritual form on me. They were so willing to help me after that. Oh, they were like, oh, everything was set up for me. It was like, oh, well, when you get ready to leave here, you got a release date. You got a release date? Yeah, you got a release date. And when you leave here, you call downstairs, we're going to pick your ride, and you're going to go to this place called Hampton Inn Suites. You're going to go over there and stay over there. We found you a place. And most likely you can get a job there too. I stayed there for a while. I bust my ass. I bust my ass at that job. I showed up like I was showing up for my children. I represented a hard-working black woman. I represented. I didn't get an altercation with nobody. It wasn't a disagreement. It wasn't no loud talking. It wasn't no ratchetness. It wasn't no ghetto-ness. It was me living my life like I was living to get my kids. And that's the divine truth. Okay? Every room I walked in, I was worshiping. I was singing. I had done did this so much to the point I was so, grateful to the point where I knew this was gonna work for me here. Y'all, I started doing the duvets in the shape of a house. Yeah. You know how you spread the duvets out, and both corners you gotta put the cushions inside the duvets, the thick sheets in the duvets. I set them up like a top of a house, like a V. Okay, and I said I'm gonna get my house. Every day I did that for almost what 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, the whole time. Okay. Never gave nobody a problem. Never, a few people got a little cocky with me, but I hold my peace because they had another lady standing there watching, and she didn't say nothing. She just, did what she had to do, and I'm gonna just say that. But I didn't have to do too much at all. I never did had to. I'm gonna tell you what I started doing. I started writing my dreams down. My person started coming to me in the dream state, trying to have sex with me, trying to call and stay with me, trying to do this, trying to do that. And I ended up eventually calling him, but I kept writing my dreams down. Every time I went to my room and laid down before I get ready to go to bed or anything, I had TD Jakes on. I never watched a movie or TV. I watched TD Jakes was on my TV. And I was writing down my dreams. Every time he came in my dreams to take or to steal from me, I wrote that shit down. People were coming in my room, I knew for a fact they was reading it. That's why I wrote it down. I couldn't say nothing. I had to document. Okay? That's how I got blessed with my home. That's the truth. People actually start coming to me and telling me that. They was telling me, do you see your grandmother? Yeah. I had spiritual helpers. They saw my grandma with me. That's why I was so jolly in the spirit. I was so happy. The situation, let me tell you how good it was. It was getting for me. I had got paid and I didn't have to cash none of my checks. Hold on. I got stimulus payments, okay? That was stimulus payments. I had a lot of money, okay? That was owed to me, back pay. I was waiting for that money to come, okay? In the process of me waiting for that money, I never had to cash my work checks because I really didn't have to. I was on a fixed income, okay? So me paying for my room and my income, it kept me with a little change in my pocket. I didn't really have to pay for food because they helped their workers, okay? They fed us, okay? They fed the workers. Every time we went to lunch, they bought lunch, okay? I was in a place where I never felt before, and I'm going to get back to that place, okay? But saying all this to say, y'all, when I got the money, I did right by the money, okay? I went and bought beds, twin beds, and mattresses, okay? I bought me a bed and a mattress. I had the receipts. I gave it to my attorney, okay? I'm getting somewhere, listen to me. I told the man I wasn't going to be ready for the furniture until, 2 or 3 months from now. I don't know. I just didn't have, nowhere to put the furniture. So, I told him I wasn't ready for it. He said, well, he had to order certain twin mattresses. He had to order them. I'm like, okay. So I'm walking around there. I picked out what I needed. Okay. And everything went well. I paid him like what, almost $600, $700, $800 some dollars, if not more. Okay, I had a witness there, okay, that I paid. Okay. So it went from that to him scratching off the ticket. Oh, well, we didn't have this, that, and the third. So he just kind of messed up the ticket a little bit after a while when I would come in. It was because he was screwing me over. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm thinking, well, he didn't have this, let him go ahead and scratch this out. Instead of me saying, get a new receipt. Write it on a fresh piece, a receipt. Write on a new receipt. I didn't do that. I let him scratch it out on the receipt. Whatever. So I'm in my place, but I had ended up going to purchase a storage. Okay. That's the God honest truth. I purchased a storage. I say, well, hey, I called the man. I said, hey, I got the storage. Could you, let me know when to pick it up? where I could send the stuff to the storage. He was like, oh, we haven't got it in yet, this, that, and the third. So I ended up calling him and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why my furniture haven't came, this, that, and the third, or whatever, and he was just like, I don't know, he's giving me excuses. So one day I called, I said, hey, I'm coming to pick up my money. I need my money, I'm coming to pick it up. And he told me he had already spent the money. Okay? That's the truth. He told me he had already spent the money. He said something, he kept mentioning his house. He said, well, I don't know if I'm going to get this house or not. I said, well, if you got faith and you're doing right, you're going to get that house. It was like everybody kept saying something about a house. Okay? So my biggest issues was my environment in the house. That was synchronicity to let me know your family's involved, they have a house for you. But this is why they're doing what they're doing to you, making it hard for you. And they want me to do this, that, and third. It's about a house. Okay? Moving forward. So in this situation that I faced this situation, I never got my money back. When I did get my house, my apartment, or whatnot, I paid all my money for my place or whatever. When I got the furniture, y'all, when I went down there to get it, he didn't give me nothing that I paid for. He didn't. He gave me a box, a frame for the bed. He didn't give me the mattress or the box spring or nothing. He just gave me a frame for a bed. He said that's what I paid for. Okay? That's not what was said. And that's not what the agreement was. It went from that to him giving me mattresses for my kids' room. I said, where the frames at? He went took me to a storage that had little of nothing in it. They had nothing there. Okay? I'm walking in these little storage houses with him. And he went next door actually to get my mattresses. He asked the guy, could he get 2 or 3 mattresses? And I'm sitting there like, what? And he just walks in and just like he's bullying the guy. The guy didn't say nothing. He just let the guy take the mattresses. But I guess because he's seen me here. He's seen, no, well, that's her, that's her nation, whatever. He'll take care of him later. I guess, I don't know. But, y'all, I was ripped off. He ripped me the fuck off. A guy that worked for the city of Fort Worth, he ended up stopping helping me. The police stopped and helped me. The mattress was flying all over my van. In the van, I had a Town and Country. And you can sit things on top of the van and, tie it down. That didn't work. So I don't know who this wise man was. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you're going to watch my video, but thank you for your help. To the officer that tried to help me too, I thank you. I salute you. Okay? God bless you. I hope that all things work out for you. Okay? But I call blessings to you, young men that helped me. You never was forgotten. Okay? That's the truth. Y'all, I stayed hours trying to get shit taken care of and get my home and things in order. But when all this happened, this man from the city, he stopped me. And he was just like, look, he just knew this was a man of the hour. Like, this man just knew what the hell to do. I don't know if he just, was like, well, I don't know. He was just like an angel sent to me. That's how I felt. Like he was a big old helper. He said, take this mattress off the top of this car. He said, because this mattress is flying all over the place. He said, you ain't going to get nowhere. The wind's too high. I said, okay. So what he did was take the frames from the bed out of my van and put it on top of the car. He put the shit so neat, we didn't even have to take it out the top, put it on top of the car. Everything fitted in the inside of the van. He followed me to make sure I got to where I need to go safe. He helped me carry that stuff up there because I had no help. It was just me. Thank God for him. That's why I say thank God for him. I call blessings to him, but I'm not gonna lie. I had called my attorney, and I reported the guy and whatnot. And the attorney was telling me, she's gonna send him a letter. She's gonna do this, but I had talked to that man before I went any further. I had talked to that guy that came there. And he came to my, he was helping me, to move my furniture or whatnot or what have you. So I said, this is nothing what I asked for. I was so hurt. I was so hurt because when I took the stuff down, nothing matched, y'all. Nothing matched. I couldn't put the frames together or nothing. Everything was mismatched. That's the truth. The people saw it with their own eyes. I was ripped off. I was screwed over. Okay? I was screwed over. And so in this situation, what I ended up doing, I said, I'm going to call my attorney. I'm going to tell my attorney, and I'm going to report this situation. I'm going to get my money back. He said, no, baby, don't do that. Leave it alone. Let God handle it. And I said, how are you going to, like, I didn't go off on the man, but, you know, I listened to him. That's a God honest truth. Yeah, I threw my hands up. When he started talking to me and talking sense to me like a father, he talked to me like a father, like a father knows his child. Okay? And I shut up and I listened and I took heed and I didn't call that man. I didn't say nothing to the man. I went on with my life, and that's the truth. I can't tell a lie. Ace of Swords is standing up. That's why I'm here telling you guys the side of my story. Okay? So it went from that. I ended up getting my kids back. I ended up having everything in order to get my children back. 2 of them. Only 2 of them. Okay? I fight hard to get my other 2 home. I did what I need to do. Okay? But in the midst of that, I had a dream of my Aunt Tabitha. She came to me in a dream. And she said, it was two forms of a dream. One was right before I left. Okay, I'm being reminded it was a dream before I left my hometown. She showed me that she was in front of in a church. She was at the church. And she was crying. And she was saying she was sorry. And she was embarrassed. Okay? She said she was embarrassed. And I was like, well, like, why is she coming to me saying sorry? So after I went through that phase, I didn't understand what was going on. Hold on, y'all. Something popped on my phone. Wait a minute. Okay. So after I went through that phase of her apologizing to me or whatnot or what have you, I moved on. I didn't know. I didn't talk about it. I didn't say nothing. But what I ended up doing was throwing away everything she gave me for my kids. She gave me nothing but clothes for my children. I threw it all in the trash. All of it. I started going into my spirituality. I started searching. I started seeing me. My body, my spirit left my body. I always have out of body experiences when I meditate. Okay, my spirit leaves, and it goes. It goes and show me where I need to go, and it showed me to leave. Okay. After I did what I did and threw all that stuff away, when she came to me in a dream, I threw it all away. I started praying more. I started praying for my kids even more. I started blessing my kids, all kind of things. So it went from that to me living in Fort Worth. Got myself together, whatnot, or have you. Now, I didn't have a dream in that apartment. I had a dream in the other apartment that I moved to. She came to me and she was like, it's not going to be a lot of money. That's how she came to me dream. It's not going to be a lot of money. It's going to be it's 500 on one card and 500 on the other card, and the rest is a little cash. Yeah. She showed me a card. It was a Social Security card. Okay? Direct Express. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a liar. And she said what she was going to give me that was belonged to me and my kids. Okay? Or what was owed to me from my father, my grandfather. Okay? And I said, how you gonna tell me what you gonna give me? So y'all, I'm looking in the envelope. It's $500 cash in the envelope, and I didn't call the card, so I didn't check the cards. But you know, I got 4 kids, so every little bit was adding up. But you were stealing from me. You stole from me. You stole that money. And you giving other people that money. Meet you too. Yeah, they telling me. They said meet you too. And my sister got something to do with it too. That they telling me. Rika too. Who else? Kobe. He said I ain't saying nothing else. Okay? So those people was the main characters that was helping working with Floyd, which is my person, and my person was working with a dark witch to come up against me. Mind you guys, they bringing people in and out of this, was bringing people in and out of this unit too. I had to caught these people on camera. I started saying out loud, I'm going to catch y'all on camera. I'm going to catch you. And I started catching them. I started recording them. I started running out. I ain't going to say run. I took my time because I'm recording. So you seeing me take my time. Okay? So all of this shit is going on behind the money that's owed to me. Now, like I said, she came to me in my dream. She came to me while I was here, her and her daughter, and they was asking me to help them. I'm not helping you. I can't help you. You try to take me down, try to take me out. You try to kill me at my granny's house. Okay? And she did. My auntie, I came from out of town, and I was talking to my auntie and both my aunties, my Aunt Jennifer and my Aunt Tabitha in the house, and I was asking them, I said, I need help to find me a place. That's the only way I'm gonna come back is notice me, coming out here and don't have no place to stay. And I really didn't. Like they set me up themselves. Okay? So it went from that, y'all, to her going to the room. She walked in the room. Now, the whole time she talking to me, she's standing behind me. She's not standing in front of me, talking to me on the side of me, nothing. She's standing behind me. Now, my older sister, she looking. She not saying that, she just looking. And my auntie was like, well, what the hell tapped her with? So she was going in the back, and my auntie said, hang up that phone. Hang up that phone. Right? Hang it up. My auntie was mad. My Aunt Jennifer was pissed. Okay? And when she hung up that phone, my sister called me. And she said, get out of the house, get out of the house, get out of the house, get out of the house. And I'm like, what's going on? She said, get the kids and y'all out of the house, get out that house. And I'm like freaking out, but I'm telling my other sister, I'm like, come on, like, let's go. And my sister didn't say why, but I knew why. That was going to try to kill me. They were going to try to kill me, man. I told my person that. My person didn't say nothing. I was hoping he gave me a sign. I was hoping he said something, but it was just like, you telling me? It was like, it was quiet. It was silence. It was silence. He didn't say nothing. He didn't defend me. He didn't say nothing. So at that point, I kind of just felt like I was alone. I didn't have nobody. Nobody didn't have my best interests. And it's showing me that right now. Okay, for all the footage and everything that I'm revealing, and I'm speaking out because a lot of people thought I was crazy. And I'm going to get to this right now. So let's go back into time. Remember, I said I had a little girl. Okay? Now, them telling me I had to go to the psychological place, keep that in mind. Okay? Let me step back a little bit further. When I was with my boyfriend, Chester Rostio, he brought me to the place too. Okay? He brought me to a nut place, and I had to stay in there. People knew that nothing wasn't wrong with me. People that loved me and cared about me and knew me very well, they knew nothing was wrong with me. I was being mistreated. I was being abused. Okay? All of that information is in the MHMR files. That's true. I told them people every day when I went in there, every month or two when I went in there, that I was being beaten. I wanted to get away. Okay? Moving forward. Going back into time. I said moving forward, going back into time. Now, I was in foster care when these type of reports was being made on me. Okay? When I got ready to age out of CPS, they diagnosed me with mild retardation. Yeah. They stated I was retarded. Okay? Just to get me Social Security checks. I wasn't retarded. I was going through a spiritual awakening. Okay? I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't a trouble kid in foster care. I wasn't the type of woman to go out there and fighting. I wasn't aggressive. I was on medication. So if you're on medication, that's because you're either depressed or you have, or you're aggressive and you like to fight and argue. start conflict or whatever. I wasn't one of them children. I came in the system pregnant. Okay? That's the truth. I went in foster care big and pregnant. Okay? So how am I going to be aggressive or cause conflict or chaos or anything? I'm pregnant. And when I got in the system, I got to a home. And her name was Miss Dickerson. Caseworker name was Miss Anita Provo. They was the ones that put that remark on me, marked me for mild retardation. Did the paperwork. They helped my family label me as mild retardation. Okay? People were asking me what certain symbols looked like when I went up in there. Hell, I didn't know. I was really, to be honest, I was describing what the things were. And that's exactly what it looked like. They had like little shapes. It scattered out. And I said, man, that's a butterfly. Man, that's a cup. Man, that's this, that's that. But it was shaped like sideways or upside down, or it was like it was spread apart, and it was shaped like a cup. Like when you have psychic abilities or spiritual sight, you place those things together. You place them together. Anyway, moving forward. So I remember going to MHMR, no, not MHMR, a place to get diagnosed in my hometown over there by World Gym. I mentioned that the other day to my person. He asked me, "No, you don't remember where you used to live?" I said, "Yes, I do. Don't play with me like that." I said, "I used to stay on a Darling. You know, Darling goes a long ways, but if you know where Real Gym is, you know where I'm talking about. It's a bunch of apartments right there. So that's off of Darling, okay?" And there's a business place which I passed by there, and I believe they shut down. I went to get a diagnosis there, and they lied on those diagnoses, on those documents. Okay, I was sent there maybe once or twice. Okay, and people were asking me really why I was there. They didn't see that I had any mental issues. Okay, they see that I had really no problems. Okay. You know, drug addicts or anybody that needs psychological problem, they're going to look like they have that psychological problem. That's truth. And I didn't look like that. And they were questioning me. Okay? So let's go back. Let's step back here. So when I lived in Fort Worth, I got a job at the airport. Okay? They watched me. Okay? They organized everything about my life, okay? And I have my ID. I never got rid of it. They tried to take it from me. They told me to turn it in. For some reason, I just didn't want to listen to them. I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to do that. Why would I give you something that I went took a test for and put 24 hours actually into the work to get the ID, and I paid for it? Okay, so why I'm gonna give you that? What I'm giving you that for? What's gonna benefit you to take my ID from me? Okay, I came in as a seer on the floor, on the E level. Okay, I'm not gonna give you too much, but I'm just gonna show my name and my levels. But that's my ID. I used to work at the airport. Okay, I paid to get on that job. They owed me. I can back up everything I'm doing. What's going on here? I solved this case. What more evidence do you need? I need some arrests to be made. I need some justice being set out. I need some people to give me my space. I need people that's behind the scenes causing conflicts and setbacks and trying to cause delays. I need them to not only be, how would I say this, investigated. I need them to start going in for questioning. I need every sparrow work that they've done to be returned to them. I need them to be so far caught up in what they have done to me that they are confused by coming at me and attacking me. I need that same energy that they send to me and that conflict that they send to me, that scattered brain energy, that low vibration. I need all that shit returned back to these folks. I need these people out of my energy. I don't need these people. These people need me. Okay? Yeah. I'm setting the tone for this. I had enough. I deal with too much. Okay? But, yeah. I know my family got that money. Some of them already, they spending the money paying people to harass me. I'm over here struggling. I got 2 couches in here. 3. I bought this barely. The TV stand, I barely bought that. TV they gave to me. Okay? I got a box spring a friend gave to me. Ain't got no bed. Ain't got no mattress. Ain't got no kitchen table. My income take all of my rent. I have nothing harder to survive on. The friends that I had to leave them alone. Had to X them out. That's what she said. She said X them out. Yeah. Had to X them out. Why? Because they were playing with me in my face. They were a part of it. They're a part of this organized crime. Okay? And they were coming after my sons. My kids. Okay? With the third party, and which means that some people in my family, okay, try to sacrifice my children, trying to turn my kids against me to work with them. Okay? I still ain't forgot to put that picture up. That picture growing up. Okay? Some of y'all don't see the video just yet because Monday. I'm waiting for Monday. Oh yeah, Monday. Okay? Now for some of us that's going through these twin flame soulmate connections, and it seems as though your person tapping your energy, trying to telepathically communicate with you, trying to, communicate and give you clarity on what's going on or what you're saying or what you're speaking, don't deal with that person. Okay? That person, deal with your family. That's how all your shit was getting tagged and targeted through that person. Some of y'all, people don't even know where y'all live. But when they talk to that person know where you live. He tells everybody know where you live. It ain't nobody in your family that don't know where you live. They know where you live. They organize this for you to live where you at. Okay? They want to control your life, where you want to ascend, where you want to awaken. Okay? You're not meant to be homeless. You're not meant to be on the streets. I endured that with 4 kids. Okay? I lived on the streets. In my car, living in Fort Worth. Me and my kids and us almost passed. I know it ain't my time. I know it ain't my kids' time either. Okay? We would have been gone. I all fell asleep at the wheel, driving on the highway, going about 80, 70 miles. That's the truth. My son woke me up at the wheel. Okay? Now, that's not one occasion. 2 occasions. I went on the wrong way on the highway with cars coming towards me, okay? I could have been gone. And I'm by myself at that time in the car. Freaked out, okay? So, if God said that ain't that person's time, please don't play with the person with no death. Because that death is coming back to whoever something. Yeah, you gonna get, that death about to hit your ass, okay? Yeah. All them death spells and shit, that shit's dead. Ain't nothing gonna die over here. But heavy, but low vibrational weight. All that shit gonna die out. Okay? So, with that being said, y'all, during the situation, I endured going to a nut home, not once, but twice. And I say twice, I really want to say 3 times. Now, the first time I actually went, I was with my baby father, Chester Rossio. He had me to tell these people that I was going to hang myself. He told me to tell them something for me to have a place to stay. And y'all, at this time, he had my social security card, my birth certificate, my ID. He had everything to identify me. And every time I paid the bills in his house, he always picked a fight with me. I was always going to jail. Okay? And on his words was, I'm a veteran. I don't want it here. Sometimes it wouldn't even be a fight. It'll be just an argument. And he'll call the police and I don't want to hear. That's all he had to say. People they didn't even say why I was going to jail. They were just taking me to jail. That shit got old, so he started beating my ass. Okay? It was a lot of things that I went through and I experienced that people not going to really say about, but people watching, people reporting. Okay? Not only that, but he even attacked my son. Okay? Yes. He was cutting my son's hair and he squeezed my son by the head and my son was crying. I'm asking my son what's wrong. He said his head hurt. I said, hey, why are you cutting his hair like that? You know what he did? He brought my son home to his dad with me in the car. with a half of a head of a haircut. My son didn't even have a whole full haircut. Yeah, that's how fucked up he is. He got a mental problem. Yeah, he a road raider. Yeah, he rage in traffic. Yeah, he one of them. Yeah, all that. So moving forward to say this to, I was how would I say this? So what my baby father brought me through, I was a demonstration or a bait, demonstration or a bait to what he had to go through to get his military a veterans check. Okay, I was being mistreated so he can get his check. I was speaking out on his behalf to get his check. He did the documentation, but I went through the backlash, the abuse, and the setbacks in that relationship. And he brought me to get a mental problem. And the people that he would go see to get help, I was explaining to them what he was doing to me, and it was my session, and it was supposed to be for him. But I'm up there breaking down, crying about him whooping my ass, and I'm telling these people what's going on. Okay, I'm the one that have to be walked out the room. He's sitting there like ain't nothing happening, like as to say, well, I told you I did what I was supposed to do. Yeah, that's how it was supposed to be. Like he was supposed to jump on me to get his veteran check or something. So how I ended up getting the understanding of it and start looking at him sideways and wanting to leave him alone. He put me into a nut home. Okay, when he jumped on me, they brought me to a hospital, and he had jumped on me so bad I had a migraine. My head felt that big. Okay, due to the situation, they enrolled me into this clinic. I stayed there for like 7 days. He called me and I was like, who is this? Y'all, they didn't put me on no medicine. So he made it seem like, oh, she a brand new person. She healed. She's okay now. Yeah. And I talked to my auntie, and my auntie said, I called my auntie, my cousin, and she said, Erica, why you in there? I said, I don't know. She said, ain't nothing wrong with you. Why they doing that to you? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. He just not right. I guess, I don't know. But I said, he jumped on me. And these people sent me here. Yeah. And these people was asking me, did I receive a Social Security check? Was I on a fixed income? Was I able to do certain things on my own? And when I got home to him, what made me start looking at him sideways and made my mind up to leave his ass alone, he asked me what was said. And I'm going to say, when the relationship got hectic and I chose to leave him alone, but still was able to, speak to him or see him every now and then, I went up there and here's where he was at. The same place where he sent me. Right here in the God. I can't tell no lie. He was in that same building. It was me and his mama. And I believe his sister was with us. My kids were at school. I had already left him alone and moved out his home and moved into my own place. Yeah. I tell you no lie. He used me as a bait to figure out how it was going to be to go in that program to get services to get his VA check. He jumped on me and did all of that just to find out that, yeah, that's fucked up, but he did. From there, I talked to him for like 2 or 3 weeks after that. After that, I left him alone. Okay? Never looked at him the same. I came back home to my hometown when I left, and I came back to visit, asking him to help me get my daughter, our baby back from out of foster care. That man told me, he said, he was recording me. I didn't know. I was walking up with my head down. I seen him on the porch at his mom's house. He called the police on me, and I was on probation. And he called the cops on me. And he said, did anybody invite you here? Did anybody tell you to come here? Anybody tell you to come over here? Ain't nobody told you to come over here. What you over here for? And I'm still saying, I just want to know, could you help me get the Chester back out of foster care? He didn't give a damn. He didn't care. That's because he had already came up against me. He had already plotted on me with my family members. Okay? And when I left, I never looked back at him. Never. I don't even look at him the same. I don't even know him. Okay? So, there you guys have it. Like, I know my auntie is the one that's holding my money. She was the one to run everything. My aunt Jennifer was the one that was running it at first. But now that my auntie was kind of down, you know, she had health issues after everything went on with my auntie passing away. She was the one to come in and step in and come and check on everybody. Make sure everything was in order. If you ever notice when y'all pass by there, she'll come there every now and then. My Aunt Dolores would be more the person to be the reporter. Okay, keep everything intact. But her and my Aunt Dolores and my Aunt Tabitha, they were the two that was there knowing that they were setting me up. Okay? Talking about, oh, you don't think we don't love you, don't care about you, this and that. They knew they didn't give a damn about me. They set me up while I was there. When I stayed in that house, they set me up. People were already telling me, don't go, stay over there. Stay away from there. Don't go to your people's house. I had nowhere to go. Nobody wasn't helping me. Even my person betrayed me and made sure I went to jail for some bullshit. Bullshit. Because when you get the call of what happened, you're going to be like, what? Yeah, false report. They said I assaulted my auntie. Yeah, they said I threw water on it. That was assault. And they arrested me. Got me a trespass warrant, can't go on the properties. Why? Because y'all set me up and got my kids taken. And yeah, I heard that's true. It is. When I called, when I got the document or information from the attorney, she said I lost my rights. And I was asking them, like, why y'all not helping me with my kids? Like, they wouldn't even have a conversation with me. They wouldn't even talk to me. For as it was, oh, you got a cigarette, oh, you got a black and mild, oh, you got this, oh, you got that. Hey, what's up, what you doing? That's the only shit that you could say to me. Nobody really gave a fuck about my kids or me. Right now, they're trying to control my son. They're trying to sacrifice my son. They're trying to get my son to come up against me. They got my son calling and texting me. When I do readings, when I do channel messages, they got him calling me in the middle of these messages. I just got a missed call. It popped up on my phone. 2 of them, actually. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. So, like I stated, you will get the picture of my son. He got the Nike shirt on. The Mexican guy that I was talking to that you see on the video, he had the shirt on. He been wearing the Nike shirt though. Okay? He been putting it in my face. That, you know, but I wasn't understanding what was going on. I'm thinking that he just didn't have no clothes or he was just wearing Nike shirts. But you coming and you putting that shit in my face and you violated me. I let that man in my house. I lay with this man. That's how grimy they are. Disrespectful. So at the end of the day, do what y'all gotta do. But I'm telling you, come for me, I'm cutting that camera on. I'm reporting you. With evidence. Sure, right, you're not getting a reaction out of me. I'm not giving you no reaction. I'm not saying shit. Nothing. I'm learning from y'all. The way you treat me is the way I treat you. But I'm coming with this camera. It is what it is. You guys have a good day. I hope this information is helpful, useful for some of you all. But, yeah, stay tuned. Because at this point, I don't know what else they feel like they can do towards me at this point. Not damn thing, just get my fucking money. Get my goddamn money. Before I sue that family. And I'm not playing. I will sue the fuck out of my family. I want my damn money. You can call me whatever you want to call me. You can assume whatever you want to assume me. But we all know the truth. It's coming out in all these readings. I already tell readers, y'all watching? These investigators, these authority figures, y'all watching my page? They're giving the information to the other tarot readers. I watched 2 tarot readers, were actually 3. They're giving them information about me. They're getting the information coming out in these readings. They're naming people. Okay? They're naming my family members in these readings. Okay? That's not much to not put together. These were people that I was around every day on a daily basis. These were people that I was socializing with in my family. These are not people that I see 1 or 2 days or a year ago or 3 years ago. These are people that I was around every day. Yeah, when I want to drink, smoke, hang out, party, whatever, our kids be together, we partied it together. Our kids grew up together. That's the truth. I'm not here to tell a lie. They moved the money to a different bank. The money was at Bank of America. Okay? Money was in the Bank of America. Bank of America called me. I posted on my page. Now, my page being hacked into, and I was told to go back and look at my stuff on my page. I haven't done it yet. I feel like some of my stuff have been deleted. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't know why I feel that way, but it's coming up because some information being sketched out. I'm even watching my videos and how my videos are being sketched. Like I'm talking and it's like edited out. Yeah, I watch my videos there because in the beginning of me doing readings, like back in the day, I wouldn't watch none of my videos. Okay, now I'm taking the time and I'm listening to my videos. So I've been guided to get a hold of the phone, get a hold of the account. I've been guided to leave this profile page and do something else different. I've been guided to do a lot of things different, but things will not change until I get justice into what's going on. Now things going to change through this connection with me and this person. I know that for sure, because it's not another contract going to happen. So I don't know if them, confronting the people or having me confront the people and standing up on my truth when it comes to these people attacking me and mistreating me and doing, nipple things and me confronting them, that's going to make room for. I'm telling you, that man pop up at my house, I'm calling pops. I'm calling the cops. That man feel the need to cause any conflict, I'm reporting. I'm putting it straight on social media. And I'm calling the police and I'm making a report. And I say I'm done, respect my boundaries. When I say leave me the fuck alone, leave me alone. I'm not playing. If I don't want to lay with a grown ass man, that's my choice. Who I lay with and deal with, that's my business. You're not paying my light bill, you're not paying my water bill, you're not paying my rent. You're a burden. You're not a problem, a person to solve a problem. You are a problem. You're a chaos agent. I see you. Everywhere I've ever been, this person caused conflict around my home. Everywhere. Every home I ever had. Problems. I wouldn't even be around this person. It's just being in a contract with that person will bring me problems. Okay? So, I'm not dealing with it. I don't have to. But you will get out my energy. You will be removed. You and this third party. You will be removed out my energy. And if you don't want to leave freely, I'll let the divine take care of you. I'll petition to the courts of heaven. That's fine with me. I don't mind. But you will not stay in my energy and disrespect me and reroute me and my path and my purpose. That's what we're not going to do. I'm not tolerating. This is my life. And this is my story. And with that being said, you guys enjoy your day. I hope that you guys are on the right path. I hope that everything works out for you guys. I hope that my story gives you encouragement into speaking up and speaking your truth. I hope that, the information is in building up your confidence to do what you need to do to get to the next spiritual level of spiritual consciousness by confronting these family members and friends and these unloyal people. I know it seems like it's scary. I know it seems like, no, you have nobody. I know it seems like, nothing's working out for you. I understand that, if it's fear to get on here in front of a page with a lot of people, y'all, I felt the same way. I was nervous. I was shy. I didn't want to put my face on camera. They were doing beauty spells on me. When I put my face on camera, I look like a beautiful Barbie doll. Okay? And at the end of the day, I'm looking at myself, I'm like, dang, I don't even look like what the camera looked like I look like. So this is people putting negative thoughts upon you of how you look. You know, because these people are insecure. We're not insecure beings. We found out who we were. We're sun gods. We're chosen. Some of us are star seeds. Some of us have psychic abilities and knowledge and power. Some of us are working with that power to bring things into alignment for ourselves. So the things that they do to us, we return that shit with power. Okay? And these people don't like that. They can't handle that. But there's information coming out about your money. That shit won't be delayed any longer. Okay? That money's coming to you. There's going to be a lawyer that's going to contact you. Now, the other day, I stated how attorney, I had a vision. I was living here, and that's not a vision. I meditate. And I saw me and my son walking to the store, in the parking lot of the store. And I got a phone call from the attorney. My phone call, it said attorney. And I said, what attorney calling me for? But I just seen the call. I didn't see me answering, saying anything. But when I got home, another company called me. And I'm like, okay, I'm answering the phone. They was giving me date times when I need to come in and take care of business. So a lot of things fit to change for a lot of us. And where you're going, people cannot go. Right now, you're being tested to speak your truth. Not only speak your truth, but to allow the divine to work everything else out. And I'm saying speak your truth, meaning, you know, to what you have knowledge of, to what you know and see and understand and can believe in. Okay, how would I say this? The people that can't come with you. Okay, I want you to know and listen to me well. The people that can't come with you, it's because these people are not for you. Okay, they're not for you. They were against you. That's why they can't go. Okay, that's why they can't take anything from you. Okay, they were a part of your problem. Some of these people, these twin flames, soulmates, they think that they're really your person. They not. You are their lifeline. Okay? They feel a difference that you cut them off. They're not in love with you. They don't love you. Love don't hurt, baby. Love is not questionable. Okay? These people was getting paid. They were getting a paycheck to attack you, to mistreat you. I know my person was. They sold me a dream. Okay? The girl sold me the third party, that the woman that he deal with, she came to me in the form of a dream. And I'm going to tell you what it was. She came to me, and I was in this dollar store. Excuse me, I was in a dollar store, and she was checking me out, and they had another guy standing there. And I had my money on the counter, my wallet on the counter. I was counting up the money, and I was short some change. And I said, she was reaching for the money. And she said to me, she said, you short or whatever. Some she said to me, and she said, no. She said, you took his money. I said, what? I looked down. I'm looking at my wallet. And the man standing over there, he ain't saying it. So I'm like, I ain't got his money. This is my money. But I'm holding the money, and she trying to take it. And I'm holding it. Like I got a grip on my money. I said, well, hold on. She come from behind the counter with a chair in her hand. Okay? With a chair in her hand. And she goes to hit me with the chair. And the guy stands up in the middle of her, and he said, don't hurt her, don't do that. He gonna kill you. Whoever he was talking about, I don't know. But he said, he gonna kill you if you hurt her or do this to her. Okay? After that, I end up walking, like I saw like an old lady and an old man. It was like I don't know, it was like a side of a wall. And I was looking at the side of the wall or whatever. It was just weird. And the old lady was talking shit. And she was on a cane. She looked like she was walking on a cane. She was talking shit, and I'm just looking at her. Like she was old as hell. Talking noise to me. So after that, y'all, I started going to the store. I was going to the store, walking to the store, and I would see like shit being played out. I had a Mexican lady in the store. She was buying lottery tickets. And I seen her lay her wallet out. And, you know, we have epiphanies. You know, that's what psychic abilities do. You have epiphanies, you have downloads, immediately downloads. You know, your psyche is just enhanced. You enhance, you awaken. So everything's going to remind you of something that is in the form of a dream or something in the past life or something about your future. You're going to have a reminiscence of. That's psychic abilities. That's you having psychic knowledge. Okay? And the lady had her wallet down, and I immediately thought about that dream. It came to me. I said, okay, it's being played out, but this is a spiritual place. This woman don't have no idea what I'm experiencing right now. You know what I mean? They don't even know me. I just walk in the store, okay? And I have to come straight to the counter. You know what I mean? And she set her wallet out. You know, and like, is this crazy? But, and actually, I was in the store, and she was leaving, but she came back because she won on her ticket. Okay, that's how that happened. Okay? But, you know, it's weird to me, but it is what it is. But it said to me that this person was getting paid. Okay, the money stopped. I called my energy back. I called my power back, and you could be wondering why you wasn't getting any money. I know I made a statement about the guy that I was talking. I talked to two guys where I was. I had to cut them off. Okay, it is what it is. I had to cut them off and get back into, you know, my path of who I am. You know, and I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with me just being focused on me. It's not the first rodeo, but I know it's the last. I know that for sure. I'm letting it be known. I'm speaking volumes against about my path. Okay, nobody's in control of where I go and who I deal with and how far I go in life. That's up to me. Okay, my life is not to be limited. Okay, I'm living to the fullest. Okay, and that's just what it is. I suffered too long. I was being mistreated. And people stood by and they jumped on that bandwagon. They jumped on attacking me. They didn't mind. They were so bold, they played with me in my face. When it came to my children, they didn't mind. So you bold, be bold enough to get taken down. Stay in that same energy. And that's just me speaking truth. Stay in that same energy that you put me in. That you was all happy and ha and about and yeah, da, and knowing that shit wasn't right. Didn't give a fuck how I felt. That's why I say I can't have no feelings for somebody that didn't even have feelings for you in the beginning. It's impossible. Okay? So, anyway, divine beings, it looks a little dry. Make sure that you guys are very aware of what's going on. I hope this draws you out of your comfort zone. I hope it draws you into the position where you speak your truth to help other divine beings to come out. Okay, I have seen other people make videos like this and have came out and have spoken their truth and said things about their family members, but they doing it in the wrong way. They're doing it on TikTok. I know TikTok is a big social media platform, but when you make your own profile page where people can view that information, okay, not saying that the right people not gonna get to your channel. I'm not stating that, but just take it a little more further. Okay? So when random thoughts come to your head, you can come there and do it. Not saying that you can't do it on TikTok. I'm just saying a place where you know everything is going to be handled in alignment for you. Where you can go back and research that information. Where you can go back and have more options to share. Because on those pages, you got to be connected to another account, another website. You know, it's called Lemon something, Lemon something app that you got to be connected to, and you got to create IRS forms and, you know, and set up a business profile. Like as you open up a business, so you got to know what you're getting into when you open up these accounts. Okay, and if you're not going for the accounts to make this a business, your account gonna be shut down. Okay, how I know? Because I'm a TikTok creator. Okay, I got a whole business page. Okay, I went through the whole divine, being the steps. That's how I know. So that's my advice to you. Even here, you have to do the same thing, but you have to get to a certain level. Okay, to gain these things. Okay, it's a step. There, you had to go through. You had to do it like you doing like a job. Okay, like a straight business, and you're not there yet. Okay, you got to come there with already business ideas and plans. You can't just come there and just start small and expect to go big when you're only staying small. Okay, that's why I left TikTok. Because when I made the page, I did all this work to the page, a year straight of work. And I'm still in the 300s, 400s. My numbers ain't going nowhere. Okay? And I'm giving out information like I'm giving here. I'm telling my story. At that time, I was a musician in the soft known. Okay? I was a musician. I was doing music. I can't even pull that energy out of me, man. That's how I know this is a spiritual thing. I'm in my north known. I'm in marriage, commitment, and family. That's already my aura anyway. That's the weight that I carry. You can see it on me. You can see how I present myself, how I speak. I am a high priestess. I'm a mother. I'm a healer. I'm a helper. I'm a guider. And I'm here to do the same thing for y'all. I hope you guys find in your heart to do it for somebody else too. Smoking, drinking, hanging out, clubbing, gossiping, doing spell work and witchcraft. That's not life. That's darkness. After a while, you're going to get tired of doing those things. After a while, you're going to be like, well, I want to take a trip. I want a family. I want to know how it is to have a real commitment without doing these type of things. And some of us, knowing that our person do dibble in spell work and magic, you won't even want to be with them because you know what they did. So for a person to feel like there's a hope of in anything dealing with you, it's none. You have to set the tone, let something be known for what it is, because a person will go behind the scenes and plot and act like, we're in a connection. Oh, we just signed a contract together again. Oh, we did this. No, bitch, you hear this on the live. Hell no. Hell no. You listening to me. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. Ain't no, hell no. It's over. It's over. It's a done deal. Okay? It's a done deal. When I stated that my person worked with this person, that gave the confirmation in the reading that they worked together. Okay? He was covering it up. Okay? It seemed like to me like when I go off on this person and get mad at my person, she go back and try to talk shit to me or attack me about him. Like, oh, you're not going to talk to my baby daddy like that. You ain't going to do like that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden that shit just got silent. Then they kept yelling, oh, you going to jail, you going to jail, you going to jail, you going to jail. Oh, keep talking. Like as I say, I don't have no right to speak for myself. Like I'm supposed to be terrified of what you say. That's the type of shit that they do in the energy. Okay? But for a long time, I let them have control over me. I did. I'm not going to lie to you. For a long time, I let them overpower me. I didn't have a voice. I didn't speak. I didn't say too much. Now I'm able to speak my truth. And I can't do nothing but tell the truth. I can't lie. I'm not a liar. Okay? So, you guys like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day, guys.